Ezra 8 from the Net Bible. The leaders who returned with Ezra. These are the leaders, and those enrolled with them by genealogy, who were coming up with me from Babylon during the reign of King Artaxerxes. From the descendants of Phinehas, Gershom. From the descendants of Ithamar, Daniel. From the descendants of David, Hattush, the son of Shechaniah. From the descendants of Parosh, Zechariah, and with him were enrolled by genealogy 150 men. From the descendants of Pahath Moab, Elionai, son of Zerahiah, and with him 200 men. From the descendants of Zattu, Shechaniah, son of Jahaziel, and with him 300 men. From the descendants of Adin, Ebed, son of Jonathan, and with him 50 men. From the descendants of Elam, Jeshiah, son of Athaliah, and with him 70 men. From the descendants of Shephatiah, Zebediah, son of Michael, and with him 80 men. From the descendants of Joab, Obadiah, son of Jehiel, and with him 218 men. From the descendants of Bani, Shelomith, son of Joshiphiah, and with him 160 men. From the descendants of Bebai, Zechariah, son of Bebai, and with him 28 men. From the descendants of Azgad, Johanan, son of Hakatan, and with him 110 men. From the descendants of Adonikam, there were the latter ones. Their names were Eliphalet, Jeuel, and Shemaiah, and with them 60 men. From the descendants of Bigvai, Uthai, and Zakur, and with them 70 men. The exiles travelled to Jerusalem. I had them assemble at the canal that flows toward Ahava, and we camped there for 3 days. I observed that the people and the priests were present, but I found no Levites there. So I sent for Eleazar, Ariel, Shemaiah, Elnathan, Jarib, Elnathan, Nathan, Zechariah, and Meshullam, who were leaders, and Joarib and Elnathan, who were teachers. I sent them to Iddo, who was the leader in a place called Cassiphia. I told them what to say to Iddo and his relatives, who were the temple servants in Cassiphia, so they would bring us attendants for the temple of our God. Due to the fact that the good hand of our God was on us, they brought us a skilled man from the descendants of Mali, the son of Levi, son of Israel. This man was Sherebiah, who was accompanied by his sons and brothers, 18 men, and Hashabiah, along with Jeshiah from the descendants of Merari, with his brothers and their sons, 20 men, and some of the temple servants that David and his officials had established for the work of the Levites, 220 of them. They were all designated by name. I called for a fast there by the Ahava canal, so that we might humble ourselves before our God and seek from him a safe journey for us, our children, and all our property. I was embarrassed to request soldiers and horsemen from the king to protect us from the enemy along the way, because he had said to the king, "The good hand of our God is on everyone who is seeking him, but his great anger is against everyone who forsakes him." So we fasted and prayed to our God about this, and he answered us. Then I set apart 12 of the leading priests, together with Sherebiah, Hashabiah, and 10 of their brothers, And I weighed out to them the silver, the gold, and the vessels intended for the temple of our God, items that the king, his advisers, his officials, and all Israel who were present had contributed. I weighed out to them 650 talents of silver, silver vessels worth 100 talents, 100 talents of gold, 20 gold bowls worth 1,000 darics, and 2 exquisite vessels of gleaming bronze as valuable as gold. Then I said to them, "You are holy to the Lord, just as these vessels are holy. The silver and the gold are a voluntary offering to the Lord, the God of your fathers. Be careful with them and protect them until you weigh them out before the leading priests and the Levites and the family leaders of Israel in Jerusalem in the storerooms of the temple of the Lord." Then the priests and the Levites took charge of the silver, the gold, and the vessels that had been weighed out to transport them to Jerusalem to the temple of our God. On the 12th day of the first month, we began travelling from the Ahava Canal to go to Jerusalem. The hand of our God was on us, and he delivered us from our enemy and from bandits along the way. So we came to Jerusalem, and we stayed there for 3 days. On the 4th day, we weighed out the silver, the gold, and the vessels in the house of our God into the care of Merimoth, son of Uriah the priest, and Eleazar, son of Phinehas, who were accompanied by Jozabad, son of Jeshua, and Nodiah, son of Binnui, who were Levites. Everything was verified by number and by weight, and the total weight was written down at that time. The exiles who were returning from the captivity offered burnt offerings to the God of Israel, 12 bulls for all Israel, 96 rams, 77 male lambs, along with 12 male goats as a sin offering. All this was a burnt offering to the Lord. Then they presented the decrees of the king to the king's satraps and to the governors of Trans-Euphrates, who gave help to the people and to the temple of God.